Hi, this is Patricia with Buzz and Bark Animals, and thank you for being here. My hair is a mess, and it's stormy outside, but I'm going to be doing a kind of a double video here. I am going to be channeling the higher self or the oversoul of a dog named Aloka, who is the dog that is traveling with or walking with the Buddhist monks that have started in Fort Worth, Texas, and are walking to Washington, D.C. It's happening at this time. They're in Georgia, and I feel like tuning into his energy because I think he's more than just a dog, and I just have some questions for him. So I'm going to be doing that, and then after that, I'm going to be doing the 2026 Reiki for all of us with some light language. It is really stormy out there, so if the electricity goes out, then I'll have to, I guess, do this again later, or we'll do it in the dark, and then we'll just call on Aloka, which means light in Sanskrit. Okay, so before I get started, remember to, if you haven't already, to subscribe and to hit that notification bell, and then like, share, and comment would be wonderful, especially if you like the content, because sometimes people like the content but they still don't do anything. So it really helps if you could just take that extra step. And if you want to support this channel, I'll leave a PayPal link below, or if you would like a animal communication session for your pet, I will leave that link below as well. So welcome to Buzz and Bark, and let's get started. Okay, so I'm bringing in the higher self of the dog Aloka. I asked for his permission, and it was granted. He's also a public figure now, so with public figures, it's still ethical to channel their energy. If he were a private dog, such as the neighbor's dog, that would be a different story. All right, so my first question for him, actually, I'm just going to let him just bring through his own message. I'm not going to ask any questions. So I'm just going to do a semi-trance channeling session here. Okay, he's really enjoying this walk that he's on. And he sees himself as a supporting figure. And his soul is really big, very magnetic, very charismatic, very sweet, loving, kind. He embodies all of those traits which the monks have, which is why he aligned with them. So when he originally saw them walking through Calcutta, because that's where he met the Buddhist monks, not the same group, a different group, but the head monk that is traveling in the U.S., walking in the U.S., was also in this group in India. And what he saw was, usually when he would see groups of people, usually it would be at a place where people eat, or people going to work, kind of crowds of people, and he would get fed, and he had a rough scramble. He was a street dog. And so when he saw the monks, he felt their presence before they even showed up. And it felt very calming and very peaceful to him, and he was very intrigued by it. So he became curious, and then the closer the monks came to his whereabouts, the stronger the feeling came, and it awakened him, and awakened something in him. So he awoke, and there was a very strong pull toward the monk who he ended up becoming associated with and adopted by, which is the head monk that you see in the U.S. in the different videos and things. He's the one with the I can't pronounce his name. I'm really sorry. He has the brighter robe. He's the spokesperson of the group. You probably have seen him in videos by now. Aloka was attracted to him specifically. And they had a soul contract ahead of time, and they had known each other before. And the other thing too is in a lot of the religious and spiritual traditions, especially ancient ones, there is a not denigration of animals, but there is a sense that animals are less than humans, and animals are not less than humans. At least that's not what I mean. I don't believe that animals are less than humans. But in a lot of the religions, there's a hierarchy, and humans are at the top of the hierarchy, and animals are beneath that. And the reason why they're beneath that is because the humans have thought that animals were here to serve us, whereas we're actually it's a two-way street. We're here to serve them, they're here to serve us. It's actually a circle. It's not like a ladder. It's not a hierarchy, and it never has been. But religions, especially male-dominated religions, who dissociated from the earth itself, and disconnected from the earth, and no longer saw the earth as a sentient being. Eventually, what happened over time was that the animals were demoted. And in the reincarnation traditions, such as Buddhism and Hinduism and the other ones that believe in the reincarnation cycles, if you were to reincarnate as an animal, especially in Hinduism, and Hinduism is where Buddhism comes from. If you read Siddhartha by Hermann Hesse, and that's the original Buddha. It's fiction, but it's based on the Buddha. So they would say that if you karmically, you could come back. I mean, if you came back as a human, that was the reward, right? So, and then of course the biggest reward is to obtain nirvana. And it has been said that you don't obtain nirvana. I mean, I may be misinterpreting this because I'm not from those traditions, but what I understand is that if you to obtain nirvana, you've got to be a human, right? And this isn't just the Buddhism and Hinduism. This is if you're going to go to heaven. I remember growing up and asking the pastor of the Lutheran church if when my dog died, would he go to heaven, or when my guinea pigs died, would they go to heaven? And I was placated because at the time, Christians did not know how to answer that question. Now, St. Francis would have said yes, but other ones would say that animals are kind of sinners, or maybe humans are sinners. I'm not sure what it is, but animals are not able to get cleaned of whatever they did, So becoming, in many traditions, becoming an animal, like incarnating as an animal, would mean that I don't know, that you're not incarnating as a human, right? So Aloka is saying that he is exalting animals. He is one of the animals that has, bodhisattvas, that has come in the form of an animal. So he could have been a human in this lifetime, but he chose to be an animal. He chose to be a dog. And the reason he chose to be a dog was because dogs have a way of reaching our emotions that other humans can't. Now, if you watch the YouTube videos and the TikTok videos and all these different posts and things that have him in it, there's no way that you can look at his face or feel his presence and not have your heart open. And a lot of humans who have a lot of trauma, especially pain that was caused by other humans, have a harder time opening their hearts. Just a second. Oh, never mind. I thought the mailman was coming. Let's get back into... Okay, so he has the ability to open hearts. Animals have the ability to open our hearts, or they have the ability to open our minds. So people who have been traumatized by other humans, whether it be war, devastation, domestic violence, whatever it has been, humans get to the point where they don't want to deal with other humans, right? They isolate themselves, they become lonely, they close their hearts. And the other thing that can happen, and he's a rescue dog, so he wants to speak on other rescue dogs, is that an animal can be shut down and a human can be shut down. And when the two come together, they open each other's hearts. So you may see like a shut down animal video of a dog, especially pit bulls who have been used as bait dogs, or just different horrific experiences that dogs or any animal can go through. And when an animal is shut down, is one of the saddest, heartbreaking situations you can see. But humans shut down as well, and it's also heartbreaking. It's earth shattering, really, when that happens. So and I'm talking about this when the full moon's in Cancer, so hopefully I don't get too emotional here. Okay, so he's saying that animals have the ability to heal us in the way that other humans can't. And he is coming as a healer. He is coming as he's showing me a flashlight in the dark. So, and his light is getting brighter and brighter and brighter the more people notice him. So the more people who open their hearts to him, the light becomes a flood of light on the planet. It is the embodiment of light. He is the embodiment of light, even though he is an animal. He's not only here to awaken humans, he's here to also awaken us to this plight of dogs in particular, but not just dogs, but if you look at the donkeys, the camels, all these animals, horses, all these animals around the world that have been going through a very rough time, or the animals in the wild that are losing their habitat and all these other things. So this one dog he is a symbol of divine justice. He is a symbol of this light. He's a symbol of compassion and kindness. And he knew also that he was going to play an instrumental role in bringing attention to the messages of not just these Buddhist monks that are walking the US right now, but also Buddhism, where there is many types of Buddhism. So if you go online, there's the Tibetan Buddhism, there's the Vietnamese Buddhism, there's the Thai Buddhism, there's, Zen Buddhism from Japan, there's the Buddhism in China, there's Buddhism in India, there's, Buddhism in Australia. I mean, there's just so many types of Buddhism and so many different practices. There's different levels of practicing, from the layperson all the way up to the monks and the nuns, and your high level monks and your high level nuns. And so and then you've got at the very top, at least in Tibetan Buddhism, you have the Dalai Lama, the 14th Dalai Lama, who is only reincarnated as the same. He's always a Dalai Lama in every cycle. He just incarnates over and over again as the same being, as the same role. And so you have so much going on. And then if you don't want to go, and if people don't want to go fully into that, there's mindfulness. And mindfulness has there's been research and there's been practices that have brain studies and things like that mindfulness meditation, especially, and mindfulness practices have helped with mental health issues, have helped with addiction, have helped with all kinds of lowering stress levels, of making us more peaceful, more compassionate, more kind, if we practice these things every day. So it is a discipline, it is a practice, it has huge rewards. And so Aloka is bringing all of that to our attention, because he can't speak as a human, right? He can't speak, but the monks can. But what the monks can't do is to have that magnetic pull that Aloka does have. Now, not everybody who's following the monks is doing it because of a dog, but they have still an awareness of the dog, right? And then the dog is a symbol of loyalty and devotion. And if you see him with the head monk, there is just this beautiful bond energetically there. It's very powerful. It just really touches upon the heart, because so the monk is teaching Aloka wisdom, and Aloka is teaching the monk more tenderness. So, and tenderness toward himself, because there is a tendency especially when you get to certain practices of being a monk or being a nun, there is a lot of self-discipline that can sometimes look like self-neglect, or walking barefoot for 2,300 miles or however long they're walking barefoot is not very healthy for the body, right? It isn't really what we would say in other spiritual practices as self-care, right? It's self-sacrifice. And so Aloka, if you notice him in the videos, he's actually being pampered. He's getting massages. He's getting all this attention. And he's showing that you can be devoted and compassionate and kind, and at the same time give that compassion and that kindness to yourself by taking care of your physical vessel. Now, most people would not be able to be a monk, or especially because of the strictness of it. These particular monks, and I'm sure that's not the same for Aloka, but who knows, they're only eating once a day. They eat at noon, and that's it. They're walking maybe 20, 25 miles a day. They're walking in different terrain, different weather. It's winter here in the United States, and even though they're in the southern United States, it can still get cold. It's not as cold as the north, but it can still get very cold. There is a flu going around in the Carolinas, and it's reaching a lot of people. So hopefully the monks are able to go through there unscathed, and most likely they will. However, he's saying, and we're going to end this session because I'm having to pull on his energy, and he's pulling on my energy, and he needs his energy to walk. So we're ending it with, this is a very big spiritual event. It doesn't matter where you are in the world watching this. It doesn't matter what religion you practice. Buddhism is not a religion. It is a practice of mindfulness. It is a practice of peace. It is a practice of compassion. It is actually a compassion of, I wouldn't say mind control, but it's controlling the ego, right? And control is not even the right word, because control even sounds like an egotistical word. It's about having power over the mind, right? Or a choice of where you put your mind, of what you distract yourself with, of, coming back to the center. And really the mind in this case is the heart. So if you look at Aloka's face, he's got a heart on his forehead. It's a white heart. It's kind of skinny, and it kind of goes down like this. That's no accident. And if you look at him too, there's a lot of light that comes off of him. Like if you can see auras, and if you can see light, or if you can see energy, then you will definitely see this light that is around him. And I don't think that's just AI editing on the videos. I think the dog is really, if you look in his eyes, the dog is full of light. So he was appropriately named. It's no accident that he met the monks. It's no accident that he is walking in the US. This dog has a mission. And it will be achieved in one way or another. It will be achieved. So that is the energy of Aloka, and I'm going to let him go, and I'm thanking him, and I'm going to send some rose quartz energy out for all of us. This is just gentle love here. And then I'm going to do the Reiki for all of us going forward into 2026. Use this time to relax and restore yourself. By the time February gets here, the end of February, things are going to speed up a lot. It's not going to be like last year. So get your strength together, get your good diet together, make sure you're hydrated. Make sure that you've got some mindfulness practices, maybe Reiki, maybe you go learn Reiki level 1 now, or Reiki level 2, or Reiki level 1 and 2, if you haven't learned Reiki level 1. And you can practice Reiki on yourself every day, because you're going to need some sort of practice, whether it's Tai Chi, yoga, Qigong, mindfulness meditation. You're going to need something to stay grounded this year, because it's just going to fly like a rocket. And there's going to be a lot of stuff coming at us, a lot of stuff happening, and you got to choose where you're going to put your mind, where you're going to put your focus, and where you're going to ground yourself. And also the natural world is going to need a lot more advocacy this year than it did in 2025. Okay, and the other thing that I had come up in my video field was the green Tara. And the green Tara, all the different color Taras, comes from the Tibetan Buddhist tradition. And she is a feminine Buddha, or female Buddha. And if you ever need protection, you can call on her. She can help with health. She can help with finances. She can help with all kinds of situations. But I would be sincere. And there is a chant that you can say. And I've been testing it out, and it works. And it's Om Tare Tu Tare Ture Soha. And you can go look it up, Green Tara chant. Or you can go listen to Deva Premal or any of the other kirtan musicians to see if you can find the Green Tara chant, or the Tara chant mantra. That's selenite. This is for the full moon in Cancer. These are both Cancerian stones. So this is I think it's a black moonstone. All right, so now I'm calling on my Reiki spirit guides, Reiki Universal Life Force, I am Presence, higher self for all of us, and I'm channeling Reiki. If you would like the Reiki, uncross your arms and legs. If you don't want the Reiki, but you want your animals to have the Reiki, then you can cross your arms and legs if you don't want the Reiki. Okay. And I'm going to add some light language in here as well. Siki kono marano katuko para. Ore klaka tutuki kamara. Ore kiko kala kanoma. Ere kachiko para katuki ko para kano. Okay, so for the Cancer full moon, I'm really concentrating on the heart chakra, the breast, and the stomach area of the body, although we are balancing all the chakras. And because Cancer is a water element, we are also unblocking, activating, releasing energy from the sacral chakra, which is the second chakra. And again, we're working on all the chakras, but that's what we're mostly focusing on. And this Reiki is for all animals, all creatures. May the Reiki only go where it's needed for highest and best. It's also for us humans, if we so choose to receive the Reiki. Now inviting the Reiki symbols to come in, starting with the power symbol, emotional healing symbol. Wow, I just saw a hummingbird in the wind. Distance symbol, oh wait, the power symbol. Distance symbol. And the power symbol. Alright, so now I'm going to call on the selenite again, and this time, I didn't bring any black stones with me, but this time what we're going to do is we're going to have the selenite pull in all the doubts, fears, darker energy that happened in 2025. We're just going to pull it into the stone, and then the stone is just going to dissolve it. I actually see it just sort of blasting it, like destroying it. And I'm also going to call on the green Tara at the same time. I'm just going to do the chant. Om Tare, Tu Tare, Ture, Soha. Om Tare, Tu Tare, Ture, Soha. Om Tare, Tu Tare, Ture, Soha. I'm really going to do this in the head area, the crown, the third eye, because we've stored a lot of like beliefs, really negative beliefs, and I'm going to extract those for those of you and your pets who want that extracted. Some people want to hold on to it. Just think of your head unzipping and this thing just pulling it out like a superhero. And then it goes into the stone, and then the stone destroys it. And then we're going to replace it. Okay, I'm finishing that up. Let's just clean that out. Any like stray energy, just like clean it out. This is my volcano. I'm not my volcano. I have a volcano tool, I guess now. This is my tornado tool, and the tornadoes destroy everything, right? So we're just clearing that out, and we're bringing in love. We're replacing it with unconditional love for ourselves and others, and we're replacing it with kindness and compassion and peace. Oh, that's a lot of energy, actually. Okay, so now, now you're extracting the love energy from this beautiful rose quartz, soft energy, and your pets are doing it as well. I love this stone. It was a Christmas present last year. 2023. No, 2024. So it's the number 6. Or 8, depending on which number you want to use. Okay. And here's the moonstone again. So that we focus our sensitivity in a healthy way instead of becoming hypersensitive. Because cancers are very sensitive, and that Cancer full moon makes us all sensitive. Very touchy right now. Pets can be touchy. Full moons, they do affect animals. They do affect the earth. Your animals might be more emotional, more needy, need more nurturing from you at this time. They may have stomach and digestive issues. It will pass. It's just with this full moon in Cancer. If it doesn't pass, make sure you get a medical attention for your pet. You might be having an upset stomach or digestive issues. You may be having tenderness in the breast, whether you're a man or a woman. Animals might be having tenderness in the breast. You may have give extra care to mother animals right now, especially if they're nursing. That goes under the Cancer full moon as well. All fluids. Stay hydrated. Keep your pets hydrated. I'm just removing any excess energy that isn't serving us. And I'm balancing all that love energy and that light energy that's come in, all that tenderness, so that it flows and is distributed, where it needs to go. I'm also removing excess energy from all the chakras and helping the chakras to balance and align with each other with the appropriate energy for each chakra. If you need further help with your chakra, if your animals need further help with your chakra, you may go find a Reiki practitioner in your area, or you could sign up with a remote Reiki practitioner and have it individually done, because I'm not able to do individuals in a group session like this. And everybody's got different chakra issues going on. Okay, I'm going to close this out now. All right, so let's take some breaths. 3 breaths. Hold for 4. Release for 8. Okay, and now we're going to ground. We're going to borrow the cedar tree, the grandfather cedar tree, which is hundreds of years old. We're going to send our roots down from our root chakra, which is at the base of your spine, and also your feet chakras. We're going to send that down with the roots of the tree into Mother Earth, into that beautiful core crystal deep in Mother Earth, and we're going to anchor our roots into the earth, and we're going to stay grounded, and we're going to stay calm this coming week. And also to come up with something for yourself and your pets that you can look at in your third eye, which is, you know, your movie projector brain, of a calm and tranquil place, or what you find. It might be at the top of a mountain, it might be a pool underneath a waterfall, it may be under the ocean. Wherever your tranquil place is, start using that image now, and this will bring more peace to you. And anytime things get out of control, which it will in 2026, remember to ground yourself with a giant old tree, to do your breathing, to sit with your pet. And you can, even when you're doing the deep breath, once you get yourself regulated, get your nervous system regulated, then you can actually, if your animal's laying next to you, you can put your hand on the animal and you can sync your hearts together, even though the heartbeats are going to be different. But I mean the heart energy, you can sync the heart energy together. And then you can do the deep breathing, and this will calm your pet as well. So these are some tips that you can use going forward. The session is now closed. May the Reiki only go where it's needed for highest and best. I'm releasing all the guides and the angels and all those who were here with us during the session. I want to thank them. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'm releasing them. I'm closing out everybody's energy fields. Remember to seal your energy field. Okay, and I do want to end with something that my spirit guides told me last night. And that is, we are sovereign beings. Each of us are animals, us, the earth, we are all sovereign beings. And this year's theme in 2026 is being a sovereign being and being free. And in order to do that, you've got to protect your energy field. And that might mean getting off of social media for some people. It might mean only using social media for your business if you have a business and you need to use it. It might mean putting a circle around yourself, praying to your guides, asking, Archangel Michael, you can command and demand that Archangel Michael protects your energy field. Put a violet flame around yourself, which is just a purple-ish flame, and you can call on whatever protector you have for whatever tradition you're part of. And put a no trespassing sign up in your mind, like no trespassing. This is, because telepathy is going to become huge this year. It's not just with animal communication or communicating with plants or other humans. You've got to protect your space, because what's going to happen is it's going to become the grand central station, and you're going to have other people's thoughts, other people's beliefs, other people's worries, all kinds of stuff barraging you. You may want to be doing like mindfulness meditation, and all of a sudden everybody's like trying to get into your head because they can sense when you're in a quiet space, and that's when you can hear all these different voices. Unless you are schizophrenic, it doesn't, there are some people that are schizophrenic, but all those voices coming in are not schizophrenia. What it is telepathy is awakening in each of us. Now, animals already have telepathy. That's why you know when they're hungry. That's why you know when they need to do certain things. It's not just because they come up to you and meow or bark or whatever. You actually have an inner awareness of what your animal needs when they need it. And that is telepathy. That's how they communicate. And it's not just body language. It's not just the voice. And you have been in a telepathic communication with your animals maybe without even knowing. But now telepathy is opening and awakening in humans, and humans are going to be like if your mobile phone or your landline or whatever is just ringing off the hook. And you need to have space for yourself, so you need to find some spiritual hygiene that you can do. Again, I like the no trespassing signs, or closing the doors. You could have like a hall of doors and you just close all your doors. And then you go into the one room and you close the door in your mind where that's your space, right? So sovereignty is huge, huge this year. Telepathy, again, is awakening. There's a lot of other things, bilocation. So we're going to get to the point where we can bilocate to different areas, but not everybody has a sense of boundaries. So just like we had to practice boundaries in the physical world in the last few years, and if you've mastered that, great, because you're going to need that going forward, because now we got to turn that inward. We need to protect our inner space, because our inner space is where we have our power, and it's where all of us hold our power, is within our heart, within our mind. And this is why mindfulness is really important, why Reiki is really important, why myofascia work, somatic work, all these things are really important, as well as removing distractions. And you might find that you're uncluttering your space as well, because objects have energy, and if you have too many objects in your space, it's robbing you of your personal energy. So you're going to find more people simplifying, and also more people going into practices like mindfulness and Buddhism. And they can be whatever religion they are. It doesn't ask you to change religions. It's just a practice that will keep you sane going forward, especially after the end of February. So with that said, let's ground ourselves again, and we're going to end with 3 breaths. And remember to drink a glass of water for yourself and keep your animals hydrated throughout the day with some fresh water, filtered if best. Filter would be best if you have it. Okay, here we go. Two. 3. So thank you for being here. Remember to like, subscribe, and share. Again, if you would like to sign up with the session with me, I don't do many, but I can do some. It's all done through, well, pretty much MP3s at this point. Have a wonderful week with your pet bonding. May you all be peaceful and happy, well, safe and protected, loved and connected. Until next week, bye for now.